Hello, I am Ruby Northcutt.
And I'm Karen Wilson, and this is the Up Beat.
During the show, we will be talking with individuals from within our own community and beyond.
We'll discuss topics and issues that are relevant to our guest and the multifaceted roles they take on in society.
This is the Up Beat. And welcome to the Up Beat. I'm your host, and today we have as our very special guest Ms. Karen Moore Marsh. She is the owner of Etcetera in historic downtown McMinnville. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ruby.
We're so excited to have you. Now, I want to tell a little bit about your background and how you got to Etcetera. Will you share that with us?
I will. Well, it started, there was Paula Hamill, Melissa Taylor, and myself, just three girls looking for something to do. I had a past of crafting. Paula had a recent past of crafting, being an artist. She didn't know what she wanted to do, and it just came about. We were just decided we wanted to open up a store. I couldn't have done it without them. It took all three of us a lot of hard work, but we got it open.
Your store shows it too, and if you haven't had a chance to be there, you need to go visit, Etcetera. Now, you left a medical career for 11 years. Mm-hmm. You sort of have a business background. You sort of grew up in business around your parents.
Yes.
And so that sort of made you want to be a little independent, right?
Yes, it did. My parents always owned their own business, Warren Aluminum. They had that for a long time. They still, my brother still has that. My mother still works there. So every summer and after school, we were there working for ourselves, and that just kind of is different than working in just a regular corporate job even.
Mm-hmm. So you knew from very early on that you wanted to develop your own company and business. Now then, let's go back to the name. Etcetera. You want to share that story with us? We talked about that a little earlier. I didn't know if you wanted to share that or not, but I want to ask you.
Well, like I said, the three of us started the store. We couldn't come up with a name. We flip-flopped all kinds of names. We were getting ready to open up the store. I had to go get the business license. Was that close. I had the building, was getting ready to open. We couldn't come up with a name. I was just frantic. I even got the dictionary out, flipping through the dictionary, and I happened upon Etcetera. Etcetera, that would be great. It's so on and so on and so on.
And there in itself brings your gifts forward.
Yes.
You have, in actuality, what you consider, you bring other craftspeople and artisans. Now explain that to us.
Okay. I knew that we could not furnish a store. We couldn't stock a store with just, we wanted to be debt free. When we opened up the store, we didn't want to be in debt. So we knew that we wanted to have other girls like ourselves, local entrepreneurs, starting businesses.
I like the local part real well.
Right, exactly. To anybody that, not just anybody, but girls that were working on their own talents and crafts, to bring that forward and have a venue for them to sell their product in a trendy, cute store.
And it is exceptionally so.
Thank you.
I have been in it. I have found several things in there, as you know. And I'll be back. And I hope everyone else will visit Etcetera as well. Now then, let's talk about some of the things that you have specifically. Now we're going to show you in a little bit later in the second half of the show, we're going to show you some of Karen's work and some of her artisans' work. So don't go away, but I want you to explain to us right now about some of the things that you have in the store.
Well, I started, my thing was, my mother and I made purses and aprons. We would buy fabrics, and we started out in craft fairs, which most of the girls do start out in craft fairs.
Right.
So we started out in craft fairs, and I did my purses, my bags, the diaper bags, and the aprons, and I knew I couldn't stock the store with that. So that's where we got to the other girls and wanted them to help us stock the store. So we've been looking for girls that, mostly girls, because not many men make crafty things. So it just
grew
came
from there,
and we knew that we had to have a few people. I knew of like Tabitha Sullins, Brandy Mansfield, of course Paula, she painted and everything, done little bits and pieces of different arts, and Patrick Dressel, he's probably the only man that we have, and he does he takes an old boot, makes the birdhouses out of those, and he has old metal, he has old findings. He brought in something the other day, he said, do you know what this is, Karen? And it was a big, huge fall arrangement on this big piece of rusted metal. And it took me just a minute to realize that it was an old bicycle frame that he had found and had made this beautiful autumn.
I bet that's very pretty. See, that's one of the things your business is a green business in actuality, because you do recycle a lot of things and you do create.
Yes.
And I love the creativity, because there is a lot of creativity in Etcetera. I want to go back just a minute to you bringing people in. There's a process there.
There is. Well, at first, of course, because we were new, I had to get on the phone and call up some of the girls that I did know, just like I said.
Right.
And we actually started this 2 years ago, this month, that we opened up. So prior to that, I just went to some craft fairs and kind of looked around to see who I would like to have in my store, because I wanted a certain product in my store, a certain look to the store. And the Autumn Street Fair helped us a lot. I got a few more in that week, because I got around and introduced myself to a few of the girls locally and brought them in. And so we started out with probably maybe 7 vendors, and right now we're between 35 and 40 vendors.
So you've doubled, almost tripled.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that there was a process there that people would have to contact you. That's one of the things that we're going to give you just a little bit later in the show. When we come back, we're going to give you some information on how to contact Karen and Etcetera. We hope you visit the store. But when we come back after this word from our sponsors, we'll be showing you some of those wonderful products that she has. And don't go away, we'll be right back. Welcome, we're back. I am Ruby Northcutt, your host of The Up Beat, and we are with Karen Moore Marsh with the store of Etcetera, and she's going to be showing us some of her wonderful products that she does with contemporary consignment. Welcome back.
Thanks, Ruby.
We're going to start with what you have on. You've got some beautiful jewelry on, so will you tell us about that?
Well, I like to go to work just with no jewelry and kind of go shopping in my own store and dress myself whenever I get there. So this kind of went with what I had on.
That's a beautiful piece.
This is one of Tabitha Sullins, and picked up a little felted little wool ball bracelet.
I think that's pretty cute.
It's fun.
Yeah. It's bright, pretty.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we wanted to talk about consignment, the process a little bit more. So before we get started into some of the other things that you brought to show us, tell us a little bit about the contemporary consignment.
Okay. Well, I started out in a consignment store. I had to see the makings of how it really works. So I put my things in Franklin in the store. And it was very expensive down there, which McMinnville is not Franklin. So we wanted to keep the prices down. So I charge a minimum monthly fee, and then just a sales. And we don't have an actual booth. I display everything in the store, so there's not really actual just closet booths.
I see.
So it's just all scattered throughout the store.
It's decorated very well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now let's talk about how they would get in contact with you very quickly. Let's talk about that. And do you have a web page?
We do. It is etc.blogspot.com. And we have our Facebook page, and we would love for you to like us and be our friend on Facebook. That's how we do a lot of advertising. I have things posted on there just daily, and a lot of people keep up with sales and whatever's new and Etcetera. Or write to us at etconmain@yahoo.com. Shoot us a little email.
And your phone number?
It is 474-4ETC.
All right, works very well. All right, now I think we're going to get started with this end of our things that you've brought today to show us.
Well, this little lady, Rachel, she makes cards for us, greeting cards, and she takes pictures, just local pictures. This one is of the old Schrock store.
And that has a lot of history here in McMinnville. I'm familiar with that.
And we have several of downtown McMinnville. She's got the fountain and just in the Park Theater. So we've got a lot of really fun greeting cards.
Stationery, great.
Yes,
That's wonderful.
Yes. This little lady makes, her name is Linda Bradford, and I think she may have even been on the show with her, one of the shows. The wool, they raise their own sheep and do their wool crocheting, and these are like so.
I think she was with Kimberly, yes.
So in right now, the little trendy little hats with the flowers crocheted on.
That's very popular right now.
It's
I really love that. And I love the
popular.
colors that she used
It
here.
is. It
and her
is.
stitchery is just really beautiful.
It's beautiful. And as a matter of fact, she is doing knitting classes at the store. They're working on a sock knitting class right now. So you can take basic knitting classes and then move on up to sock knitting classes.
And I think that's one of the things that we had discussed early on in a previous conversation is that how more and more young women are going back to the things that our parents and grandparents did for us. They could darn, they could knit, they could tat, they could do crochet, they could do all of those things. And so I'm glad to see that trend coming back, and I'm glad to see that it's being displayed in such a beautiful way.
Very impressed. I'm so impressed with the young girls that come in and the talent that they have. I'm like, only grandmothers should have that talent, but younger girls are picking it back up.
And that's great.
Yes, it is.
Now, what is this particular piece right there?
This is handmade paper. Her name is Michelle Whitlock. She makes her own, I guess, just recycles paper and then down to cardboard and just old scrapping paper that you're going to shred or whatever. And I have no idea what the process is.
So she presses flowers within it. This is a beautiful page. This would make a great scrapbook front. And I noticed that she hangs it as a portrait.
As a light,
yes.
in the light catcher, yes.
Oh yes, that's beautiful. It has several different uses, and I love this detail that she put there.
I just love. It's just, I love it, love it, love it.
That's a pretty piece. Really like that.
We have pottery. Miss Frida Preston makes our pottery. This is just one of the pieces. She has one little thing that I just love. It's a cornbread maker, and it's just a little tubular pottery, and she's got the little recipe for the cornbread, and it makes awesome cornbread.
Wow, this would be a great sauce server or gravy server, and it would look great with a lot of the colorful, plates and things that we use. Now you have something inside there.
Well, it's just a piece of jewelry. I forgot. This is just some of the glass beadwork. Miss Carol Hobbs makes this, and I think she made this piece too. It's some black.
These are very pretty pieces, handmade pieces.
Stones, yes, yes.
This is a beautiful set, and I really love that.
Just the design and craftsmanship. I just can't imagine. I just love it, love it, love it. And then another jewelry gal that we have is Miss Tabitha Sullins, and she has Reminisce heirlooms. Her specialty is what she is so famous for. She will take pictures, whatever picture it is. This is the newborn.
Infant newborn in there.
Yes, wedding pictures, whatever kind of picture. And she does the glass and the soldering around it, and it's just timeless. You've got it forever. Christmas ornaments, she's just awesome.
That's a beautiful piece, and knowing Tabitha, I can appreciate her doing jewelry like that. That's really pretty. I love that.
And then this is one of my purses. My mother and I make, Betty. The top is from an old vintage, bedspreads that everybody had at one time or another.
Sort of looks like a Martha wash, and it has the wicking on it, what they call the wicking stitch.
And this is actually a diaper bag.
Oh, can you show the insides of that just a little bit? We've got a pretty bow in there, and then you've got, it's got the pockets is what I'd like for you to see, all the organizational that you can, it's pretty.
Great diaper bag, or beach bag.
I started to say, this has several other uses other than just
it does. A carry-all, beach bag, diaper bag.
Right. Now, we have something, before we get too far on this end, down there on the far end.
Yes, this is my new favorite thing. Paula, my partner Paula, she and I went burlap crazy. Everything is burlap at the store right now that we're making. These are wreaths, door wreaths. You can get your initial made. Any colors you want. We match the bows. You can change out the bow from fall, and it can go on into winter.
So it's seasonal as long as you can change the bow, and it still has. And this is normally a letter monogram sort of type thing?
Yes, which is so trendy now still.
I've seen several of these already.
They're fun.
Yes.
And along with that burlap is the Remember the Date burlap pillows. They're very popular right now. So your wedding date. This is my wedding date.
That's very pretty.
And then the word pillows.
Oh, I love that. So you can send little messages.
Exactly. Or have your name put on. It's, everything is custom.
This would be so great. Like if you have a student that's off to college someplace, or a child that's away from you for a while or something, that would be great for them to have.
Exactly.
I really like those. And let's see. I'm going to just gently bring this to the forefront for you.
Miss Becky Maynard makes our pillowcase dresses and little outfits. She is a retired school teacher. So she has time to sew for her granddaughters now.
I love
it's turned
this
into her
vibrant.
business.
See, it even has like the little, it's almost like a pinafore look to it.
It is.
And it's great. And then
all
it
the
has
ruffles, all the wonderful colors. Put a little turtleneck with it.
Oh, I can just see this on several nieces I have that are about that age. This is just a really cute little outfit. I really love it. And I love the brightness of it. I love the bright colors.
Me too.
And let's see, what about this piece?
This is hand knitted by Miss Mitzi Pierce. She's making newborn products that people are using for photographs right now, photographing their newborns. And that goes with the baby cocoon.
Yes, I was really enjoying holding this very much, so I hope you get a good picture of this. This is just a great little bunning. Is it a bunning, or what do you call this?
She calls it a cocoon, but it's more, I guess, bunting is tight, so it is kind of a bunting. But this is used for the newborns. And just the little newborn hats, and they're precious.
Let me ask you a question. Can you ask for any specific color, so you can custom order if you want to?
Yes.
So you just do it off your internet or your Facebook page, and just let them know what you're after?
Unless you come in the store, yes. Everything, most girls can do custom work. That's what their business is about.
Okay.
They want to custom work.
That's what I would know. Now then, let's bring up one of my favorite items. I am a collector of aprons, especially the vintage ones, and when I came in your store, I found some in there. But this is one that you've taken with vintage material.
Right. Well, it's a look-alike vintage. This is not a true vintage fabric, but it does look like the old vintage that we used to get growing up.
And it has like
the reversible.
And see, that was the other thing I thought that was so impressive, was that you could turn it around if you're cooking and you needed to change and you needed to use your apron. All you had to do was reverse it if you didn't have time to get ready and do something else.
Well, or cook with this side, and then when company gets there, you can turn it around to the pretty side.
You got a dress side. So I really liked that aspect of it, because I haven't seen that exactly before. And I'm going to take this and we're going to put this right back here. We're going to lay our baby there gently. Now, one of the things we didn't say about this that I loved was the threading that she used, and the colors that she combined. It's very, very soft.
It is.
Okay, now let's talk about this. Let's raise this up a little bit. And this is a cake holder, correct? Is that what you call that?
Cake taker. They have all kinds of names. Cake taker is kind of stuck on this.
All right.
Yep.
Now, I like all the colors on it. But when I was in Etcetera, I noticed that you had several of these stacked. Is this particular style?
It is. Yeah, it's a sterilite. It's the kind of really the good kind of cake taker, and it does it the way it's made. You can stack it. They're kind of interlocking.
So I love that, the fact that you could even have different designs as it's stacked, and yet have all of your things, and it would save counter space as you use it. Put all your pies and your cakes if you're entertaining, and it would be in one concise corner, and you'd have everything right there as you needed it. And these are very beautiful colors. I love the way you did this.
Great
with
hostess
the dots.
gifts.
The dots are very hot right
They
now,
are.
Trini, aren't they? I noticed that even in the clothing line with the fashion on the runway, dots are in.
Pink and black.
Very much so.
And that goes to this.
Ah, yes.
We
I
love,
really
we
like
love
this
pink
when
and
you brought this
Etcetera.
in.
And Miss Paula Hamill painted this. She's very whimsical, fun, whimsical. So we have a lot of pink, black, lime green.
But I like this. I think that it adds a lot of joy and a lot of, I guess sometimes you just really need something special to make sure that you have a little bit of joy in whatever you're doing, and this works very well. She's quite a good artist there.
She is very talented.
All right. Now we're going to move to the back here. I'm going to bring some things up. Let's start with this.
Yes.
This is an umbrella. This is a custom designed umbrella. Is that correct?
Yes, that you designed.
Yes. And it has all of the Up Beat colors in the dots. And it has my initials on it, and I'm going to be thrilled to carry that. And
Great for ball
that you did
games.
it. Yes. And I definitely needed this more than you know. Now then, let's talk about this one.
Well, that's more of Miss Mitzi's knitting, and this was just a Christmas piece that she brought in. And again, it's for the newborns, maybe a little bit bigger than a newborn, but it's just so soft, and what a great picture this is going to be on your newborn.
Now, I noticed that we also talked about this a little earlier, is that you said that they could also do the longer version if some of it has just stopped with the little pom-poms at the top, but you can also add a little bit more knitting if you request it, and she can make the pom-poms toward a longer end of a tip,
yes,
where it sort of comes down the side. I really like this. I think it's so sweet, and the yarn that she used is very soft.
So soft, and this is chenille, I think.
Oh,
it feels like chenille.
Yep. And it's very warm. I'm sure that any child that put that on would stay toasty. All right. Now then, of course, I want us to bring up this. This is one of my most favorite of holidays. And of course, you have used all of the most wonderful traditional colors of Christmas in this particular wreath.
Right.
Did you do this wreath, or did
No,
one of your vendors did this?
Yes, no.
Well, I really like the way they used the double green and red material. It's almost a plaid effect.
It is.
But yet it isn't, and yet they have taken all of the traditional things that you would want for Christmas. Now, this one is an 18, but if you say you have a larger door or something that you want to put it on, or a mirror that's a little bit larger that you want to put it on the inside, this ribbon right here works both inside and out.
It does. It does. It does. And they come smaller sizes and even bigger sizes. They've even got some bigger sizes.
Do they? So they just need to call the store and find out, you know, and determine. They need to measure their door and get everything ready.
But this is a good average size here, I think, for most stores.
Well, I really love this, and I really love all the things that you have brought to show us today. And there's other things that are in your store. We'll sort of call those off. You have ornaments.
We have Christmas ornaments. Christmas season is coming up on us quickly. A lot of the girls do, like I said, different. One of the biggest Christmas gifts would be like Tabitha's, the Reminisce heirlooms.
You have some of the vintage cookbooks that I saw in there that you get recipes. I love that.
Paula King has our vintage
she does.
line going on. She has cookbooks and just all kinds of really neat dishes and just.
I can't wait to get back in there because I know that you've restocked since I've been in there, and I know that you've been through selling process here. Very quickly now, before we have to say goodbye to our audience, please let them know how they can get in contact with you.
Our phone number is 931-474-4ETC. You can email us at etconmain@yahoo.com, and our blog is www.etconmain.blogspot.com.
Thank you again, Karen Moore Marsh, for being here with Etcetera. We hope that you visit Etcetera's store. We want you to come back and visit with The Up Beat. I am your host, Ruby Northcutt, and we'll be seeing you on the next The Up Beat.